We're going to be demanding respect from other nations, Canada, Canadian, Canada.
With Mark Carney as Prime Minister, what of President Trump's consistent suggestions to annex Canada?
He said we'd be a failed nation, and I said then you should be a state.
But why does he want Canada so badly? Economically, Canada is America's second largest trading partner and #1 export market. In 2023, 78% of all Canadian products went to the US and 60% of all US crude oil imports came from Canada. However, the main prize would be the Arctic.
We recognize that Russia is not the only nation making illegitimate claims. The US has a long contested feud with Canada over sovereign claims through the Northwest Passage.
Around 40% of Canada's landmass is in the Arctic Circle. By annexing Canada, the US could strengthen its dominance in global trade and Arctic geopolitics, counterbalancing the growing Russian and Chinese presence in the area, while also securing control over critical shipping routes. However, with both American and Canadian citizens not in favor of merging, it begs the question, what if Canada were to merge with a different union, one on the other side of the pond?
Let me put it in words you might understand. Mr. Trump, fuck off.
Though this idea may seem very out of reach, it isn't as impossible as one may think. We will focus on the three main European membership groups with the highest economic impact: the European Free Trade Association, the Schengen Area, and the European Union, each of which having their own membership requirements.
His territorial views, that's never ever going to happen. You know, we deserve respect, we expect respect, and I'm sure we'll get it in due course.
With the main requirement of being a European country, it isn't necessarily possible for Canada to join the European Union. Canada were to be granted membership, it could destabilize the region. As the EU has previously turned down membership for Turkey and Morocco, both because they aren't European countries, and although Canada does share both land and maritime borders with Denmark and France, respectively, Canada would need to be given land within Europe for the condition to be fulfilled.
I've been warning for months. America wants our land, our resources, our water, our country. Never. But these are not idle threats. President Trump is trying to break us so that America can own us.
A much more probable option would be to join the European Free Trade Agreement, which allows a country to participate in free trade with other EFTA members, as well as have access to the single European market, which could allow Canada to branch away from relying solely on the US for its majority of the trade. Furthermore, Canada already has a trade agreement with the EU, the Canada-European Union Comprehensive Economic Trade Agreement, which already eliminates 99% of tariff lines. With strong economic ties as well as similar trade policies, Canada becoming part of the EFTA could indeed happen, especially if Canada wants to reduce its dependence on the US, and if it really did happen, it could possibly open the door to several more economic, financial, and diplomatic opportunities.
The enduring relationship between the European Union and Canada has withstood the test of time and only grows stronger. Geography may divide us, but there is no ocean that can part our shared values, shared outlook, and shared way of life.
One of those opportunities would be the possibility to join the Schengen area. Covering 4 million square kilometers, the Schengen area guarantees almost 420 million people freedom of movement in the largest free travel area in the world. The border-free Schengen area allows 3.5 million people each day to cross internal borders for work, study, or simply visiting families. Nowadays, almost 1.7 million people reside in one Schengen country while working in another. By joining the Schengen area, Canadians could move freely between Schengen countries without passport checks. This would mean 40 million Canadians could work and live in any Schengen country without additional visas or permits, increasing job mobility for Canadian professionals as well as businesses.
Our parliament passed the law that we can use live bullets now. So if you want to come to Poland, you will be killed.
Other than stronger economic ties, Canada could see enhanced security, especially along its border, with the introduction of Schengen-wide intelligence sharing and law enforcement cooperation. The only double-edged sword would be the need to adjust its border policies with the US, which could create more tension between the two nations. But given the advantages, it is a trade-off worth taking. While deeper integration and collaboration with Europe could bring various economic benefits as well as ease of movement, it would also challenge Canada's trade relationships, legal frameworks, or even its own national identity. But who knows, maybe we could see a future where the blue flag of the EU flies alongside a Canadian one, where Canadians can travel across Europe passport-free and vice versa, where one could wake up in Toronto, take a job in Paris, then retire in Barcelona without much bureaucracy. Maybe in the future, but for now, these ideas still remain in the realm of speculation. Decisions like these take years, if not decades. And who knows, maybe the political climate will be different in a couple of months or years.
As President John F. Kennedy said many years ago, geography has made us neighbors, history has made us friends, economics has made us partners, and necessity has made us allies.